You wear earplugs at concerts. You turn the volume down. You step away from loud machinery. You do everything right, and yet something still feels off. Maybe it's a faint ringing that wasn't there before. Maybe sounds feel slightly muffled even in quiet rooms. Maybe you find yourself asking people to repeat themselves more often than you used to. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Protecting your ears from noise is only half the equation. The other half, the part most people completely miss, lives deep inside your auditory nervous system. And no earplug in the world can reach it. This is the missing piece in ear health. And once you understand it, the way you think about your hearing will never be the same. Most conversations about hearing protection stop at the eardrum, block the loud sound, reduce the decibels, prevent mechanical damage. And yes, that matters. That is real and important science. But here's where it gets interesting. Your ears are not isolated organs. They are part of a deeply connected biological system, one that links your inner ear to your brain through a network of microscopic nerve fibers, electrical signals, and chemical messengers. This system is called the auditory neural pathway, and it is far more vulnerable than most people realize. Noise exposure can cause direct physical damage to the hair cells of the inner ear. That part is well known. But what most people don't realize is that even moderate, chronic noise, the kind you don't think twice about, can trigger something far more subtle and far more damaging over time. It triggers a cascade of oxidative stress deep inside the auditory nerve. Think of oxidative stress as internal rust. Free radicals, unstable molecules produced under pressure, poor nutrition, and chronic noise exposure begin attacking the delicate nerve tissue responsible for transmitting sound signals to your brain. This process does not cause sudden, dramatic hearing loss. It works slowly, quietly, over years, and by the time most people notice the symptoms, significant neural wear has already occurred. By the way, tell me in the comments where you're watching from today. And if you or someone close to you has ever dealt with ringing, muffled hearing, or that feeling of sounds becoming distant, I'd really like to hear your story. This is where the warning signs become critical. Many people who experience early auditory nerve stress describe a very specific set of symptoms. A persistent low-level ringing or buzzing that seems to come from nowhere. Difficulty understanding speech in noisy environments. Not because you can't hear the volume, but because the signal processing feels unclear. A subtle mental fatigue that follows long periods of sound exposure. And in some cases, a kind of brain fog that seems connected to sensory overload. These are not random inconveniences. They are signals. Your nervous system is communicating that something beneath the surface needs attention. The tragedy is that most people respond to these signals by doing more of what they already know. Wearing better earplugs, lowering the TV volume, avoiding crowded places, and while those steps help reduce incoming damage, they do nothing to address what is already happening at the neural level. This is the gap, the missing piece. Protection manages the environment. But nerve support works from the inside. So what does supporting the auditory nervous system actually look like? Research into auditory neuroscience has increasingly focused on the role of antioxidant compounds, circulation support, and neural nourishment in maintaining healthy signal transmission. The logic is straightforward. If oxidative stress is one of the primary mechanisms behind auditory nerve wear, then providing the body with targeted antioxidant and circulatory support may help protect the integrity of those neural pathways over time. Certain plant-based compounds have been studied for their potential role in supporting nerve tissue health, reducing inflammatory pressure, and promoting healthy blood flow to the inner ear, a region that is entirely dependent on robust microcirculation to stay nourished and functional. This is not about reversing damage overnight. It is about giving your auditory nervous system the internal environment it needs to stay resilient, especially as you age. As stress accumulates and as the years of sound exposure begin to add up, the surprising part is that this approach is not new. It is simply underrepresented in mainstream conversations about ear health, which tend to focus almost entirely on external protection. if you've been doing everything right on the outside and still feel like something is missing. There is a reason for that. External. Protection and internal nerve support are not competing strategies. They are complementary. One shields you from incoming damage. The other supports the biological machinery that processes sound long after the noise is gone. Near the end of this video, I want to mention something practical. For those who are already thinking seriously about long-term ear wellness and auditory nerve health, there is a natural support option we've highlighted in the pinned comment below this video. It is formulated to support hearing clarity, nervous system health, healthy circulation to the ear, and cognitive focus. Not as a treatment, but as a daily wellness tool for people who understand that real ear health goes deeper than earplugs. If that sounds like something worth exploring, the link is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. Here is what I want you to take away from today. Noise is a real threat. Protecting yourself from it is intelligent and necessary. But noise protection was never designed to address what happens inside the nerve, the silent, gradual, oxidative pressure that accumulates over time regardless of how careful you've been with your ears. The missing piece in ear health is not a louder warning label. It is not a better earplug. It is the understanding that your auditory system is a living neural network, one that needs nourishment, circulation support, and cellular protection just like every other system in your body. You've been protecting your ears from the outside. Now it's time to support them from within, because hearing clearly is not just about what you block out. It is about what you build up, quietly, consistently, from the inside.